everybody. So we're going to look at the last two questions in the Module 2 assignment. The second question reads, how will a closer analysis of the author's claim and the structure of the writing help you to learn more about your selected reading? Okay, so if this question is seeming a little vague to you, let me make it very specific. The question is this: what is the value of an analysis? Why would you bother to do one? Okay, if you can answer that question, then you can answer question number 2, because they're both getting at the same thing. If you look at the author's claim, right, which is their purpose, their message, which you described in the first question, you answer that there. If you look at that and you look at the structure of the writing, how do those two things become more evident? How do they become clearer? How do they become more meaningful because you did an analysis? What does an analysis help us to do and why? So think back to Module 1 in the discussion board. Think back to when you had to think of a real life, everyday example where you use critical thinking. Well, the same is true here. What did critical thinking help you do in that situation? And what does critical thinking help you do when you're looking at this piece of writing? So what are the things that you might be able to understand better? If you say that, oh, this helps me to understand the reading better. Well, what about it does it help you to understand? Be as specific as you can in this instance. What do you stand to learn from conducting an analysis of this article? Okay, so that's question number 2. I hope that clarifies things for you. I'm going to move on to question number 3. Question number 3 reads, now that you have discussed the author's purpose for writing the selected reading, do you think the author's writing is effective in achieving their purpose? What led you to this conclusion? Essentially, this is your evaluation of the author's work as a whole. Was it successful at persuading us to believe what the author intended? Why or why not? Okay, that's essentially what this is asking you. What aspects of the work were particularly strong? How did this grab you as a reader? Okay, so that's question number 3. I hope this breakdown helps. There are a couple more things that I wanted to note to you as you're looking at this. And of course, in the module overview for this week and every week, I always try to remind you guys, hey, look at the rubric. You know, each writing assignment that you have is graded using a rubric when it's submitted through Brightspace. Take a look at the rubric. Look at what they're asking you to do. This week, though, in particular, I think you have to be very specific when you're answering these questions because the rubric is written as such. For the first question that's asking you about context, style, tone, and purpose, it says this: for exemplary, you must discuss the context of the selected article, the author's purpose, style, tone, and you must provide specific, detailed examples to illustrate the analysis. So, for example, if you say that you feel that the author used a very conversational tone, tell me, show me how. Tell me how. What did he or she say that made it come across as such? And then what effect did this have on how we receive it? Okay. Specific, detailed examples to illustrate the analysis. The same goes with the purpose. Why do you think the purpose is what it is? Use examples to show me. Okay, so that's for exemplary. If you do give me a description of all the things, but you leave out the examples, then it's not an exemplary performance, but a proficient performance. Okay, so including those examples is what's going to get you all the points. For the second question, the exemplary category on the rubric requires you to describe how an analysis of the author's claim and structure of the writing will help someone learn more about the selected reading, and provide specific, detailed examples to describe how an analysis of the author's claim and structure of the writing will help someone learn more about the selected reading. Okay, let me give you an example here. If you said, this really helps me break down the author's reading because at first maybe I didn't understand what the message was, but after reading it again or after going through the steps of doing this critical analysis, now I understand something that I did not understand upon first glance. Well, that could be the case. So if that's true, then in your answer, you need to explain to me the thing you did not understand at first and why you understand it now. Does that make sense? So when it says give specific, detailed examples, this means that you can quote from the text. You can use quotes from the text in order to refer to this. When the author said XYZ, and then give me that XYZ in a quote, it meant this, or I thought it meant one thing and now I see that it means this. Okay, does that help? I hope so. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I would be happy to help you. The last little tip that I want to give you here is regarding the length. So you have 3 questions to answer. However, so for each one, you should probably do a paragraph. Okay, so what we're looking for is 3 fully developed paragraphs in length. How do I know this? Because that's what the rubric says. Okay, so that's why I said, you guys, look at that rubric. The rubric says 3 fully developed paragraphs. That means 5 to 8 sentences per paragraph for it to be fully developed, or for it to be considered fully developed. As you work on the journal, remember to refer to the rubric to make sure that you're fulfilling all of the requirements and all of what it's asking. But the things that I went over in this video are things that I think students overlook the most. Okay, so I just wanted to address that to you so that you have a chance at addressing it fully. Okay, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here. That's why I'm here. So please don't hesitate to reach out, to email, to post in the discussion board or the question thread. Whatever you need, I'm here to assist. Okay, so until next time, maybe until next week, I'll see you and you'll be hearing from me. All right, bye-bye. Good luck this week and have a great one.